Hey guys, welcome to another one of our reviews. I'm the Worm, this is the Proton. Today we're going to be doing another juice review that we did receive free of charge from John at e-smokeless.co.uk, but you can also put in .net if you're on mobile or tablet devices watching this video, so go over there and have a little look.
Right, what we're doing today, we are doing Apple from John at e-smokeless.co.uk.
Start on the 24.
Start with the 24, and then I'll have a flap redo then. Yeah, we're doing Apple today. We've got it in 4 strengths, 6, 12, 18, 24, just to check for consistency and all that other good stuff. Quick price guide on these guys, $4.50 15ml and $5.99 for 30ml and £1 on top of that for delivered, so £7 delivered 30ml of juice. Can't remember them prices at all. These are all running on exactly the same setup. It's with about 1 amp coil, fresh batteries in an M6 stripper. There you go. So this is the 24.
This is 24. It's a very nice apple actually. It's kind of hinting towards a cooking apple because of the richness of the apple, but it's got the flesh of the other apple as well. It's more like the skin of a cooking apple and the flesh of like a Granny Smith or whatever. It's actually quite nice. It's actually a very nice vape. That's a 24. I'm getting 1 throat hit. Just be aware guys, if you are new to watching our videos, when we do our juice reviews, I don't suffer with throat hit very often. It is very rare for me to get high end throat hits, so just be aware in mind. You'll see probably a more true throat hit in a minute with Mr. Proton's view.
In terms of throat hit, I think we're different ends of the scale. He has no sensitivity to throat hit at all, whereas I seem to be quite sensitive to throat hit. 24, nowhere near what I'd usually vape. High PG juice guys as well. For me, throat hit off the bat, well, you saw the reaction to the first puff. I'm going to call it a 6. Flavour, it tastes more like a cooking apple, as Worm's pointed out. Definitely tastes more like a cooking apple, sort of, or like an apple core, if that makes sense, but not quite. But it's strange because I'm getting the sweetness that you get from, like, say, like an apple sauce, which is made with cooking apples, so it kind of makes sense. But I'm kind of tasting the texture of the flesh. I don't know if that's just me. Is that me?
No, I'm getting that. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. The flesh is more like a real apple. Yeah. But you're getting the actual taste of a cooking apple.
But I'm not actually tasting. I'm not tasting the flesh. I'm tasting the texture. It feels like I've just had apple.
But that might be where you're getting the texture from. Who knows? It's your mouth.
It is my mouth. But yeah, that's what that tastes like to me. Sort of cooking apple with the sweetness of an apple sauce.
You guys reckon with the 18?
Yeah, we'll get on to the 18.
Obviously, guys, you've got chip compliant labels, tactile labels on here. You even got a little date at the top. One is process date and expiry date, so when it was made and obviously when it expires. Should we have a quick look at this? 2015, and it was made on 2013, so like we say in most shoes, you get about 2 years. So when you're buying this sort of size bottle, it ain't going to last you 2 years unless you're stockpiling loads of it. But just be aware of when you do buy juices, because if they don't come with a label, put a little date on there or something, just so you know when you bought it. So try and use it within like a 1.5 years, because depending on how much or what kind of juices you're buying, if they're making big bulks of them, they could have been sitting on the shelf for up to 6 months. I wouldn't say there'd be more than that, but rule of thumb sort of thing.
There or thereabouts.
Yeah.
On the 18, we'll go straight with the throat hit again, might as well. Throat hit on that one's more like a 4.5 for me. It's not super duper. Again though guys, these throat hits, yours, if you're on a 24, your throat hit's going to be what you're used to, so there you go. Flavour for me on that one, that's actually, I'm getting more of an apple through there, more on the tongue than I was before. Definitely a slight bit more sweetness. It almost tastes less of the apple core and more of the apple sauce, if that makes sense, because of that additional sweetness that I'm getting anyway. But the apple itself tastes the same as the 24 did, just nicotine effects to take on it, obviously.
Yeah, same apple taste, I think. Still getting mainly like the cooking apple skin and the flesh of maybe a normal apple, but the sweetness is definitely going through a little bit more in this one, just because there isn't such a high nicotine in that one. It's quite nice. Yeah.
Indeed. Move on to a 12 now, guys. So just screwing the Yeti in.
Obviously, guys, these also child protected lids, and you also do get lately, well, since the new kind of stock is coming through, John's been getting these needle tops, which is perfect for dripping, perfect for filling any kind of ATL device, cartos especially, and like the bottom fill tanks and that are obviously screwed, like your K-Funds and stuff. So these are perfect for them. So always keep these around for like whatever's and stuff and things, because they are handy to have. And maybe some of the flavours that are going to tank, maybe try and keep them with the same sort of flavours, but these are definitely good bottles, and we recommend these anyway.
Indeed. Sorry guys, I've just got to re-drip it.
Did you give the price of this one?
Yeah, price, they're all the same.
Oh, cool. Obviously, you know the pricing, but obviously £1 for delivery as well, guys. You can't really go wrong with that. And John does look after his customers and that, and he does listen to you. So if you do put in an email or whatever, something will go wrong, I'm quite sure he'll get back to you as soon as he can. Obviously, he's running business, don't expect an immediate reply, but he does tend to get back. His
John's always been pretty
really
quick,
good.
to be honest. Whenever we've spoken to him, he's always been pretty damn quick. On the 12, I'm getting... No. On the 12, I'm getting less of a cooking apple, and I'm slightly more of an apple, if that makes sense. I think obviously the main difference between a cooking apple and a normal apple would be that the cooking apple is obviously more bitter. And I think as I'm losing nicotine in the juice, I'm gaining sweetness. Now, again, if you're at 24, it will be probably as sweet to you as the 12 or the 6 is to me, because that's where I tend to vape. But I'm getting definitely more of a an on-the-tongue sweet sort of Granny Smith style apple. Right at the front of the tongue, it's still there, very pleasant. Yeah, that's what I'm getting, a nice sort of Granny Smith, that kind of apple.
Yeah, that flesh kind of taste has definitely dropped off on the 12. It's definitely more of the actual apple itself, which is definitely more towards like your traditional style of apples, like your Granny Smiths and that sort of type. I don't really know any other type of apple brand. Sorry guys, I'm not really an apple eater, but so we're just going with Granny Smiths here. Yeah, it's actually really quite nice. It's zero throat hit now, 12s. But that flavour is more on my tongue now than it was before. Like I was getting the sweetness on the back of my throat. With this, I'm getting it. The sweetness is more towards like the front of my tongue than back of my throat and on the back of my tongue, sort of thing.
With the 6, I'm getting... I mean, with the 12 I was getting like a 1 throat hit. With the 6 I'm getting like 0, completely no throat hit at all from that one. I'm getting more of a mild apple juice. Oh god. Yeah, I'm getting more of a sort of mild apple juice in terms of the sweetness. The nicotine's not playing a part in that juice in any way, shape or form anymore, because it's very low. It still tastes like the same apple, but it seems like each time I lose nicotine, the flavour moves forward on my tongue. It's now right at the very front of my tongue, sort of roof of my mouth. It tastes very similar to the 12 did, just again slightly sweeter. So that is what it is.
Yeah, the sweetness is definitely moving forward as your nicotine drops, but we kind of expect that from nicotine does change the sweetness and to kind of take on the juice, as it were. But it's definitely the same apple, a little bit more sweeter again, but it is urging on like an apple juice now, rather than an actual fleshy apple sort of thing. But it's quite nice still. It's still the same apple, still tastes similar, just a different take on it, with the sweetness there being coming through a little bit stronger, as it were. It's actually really good, yeah.
Lovely stuff. We do a couple of marks out of 10. One for what it's supposed to taste like, and one is our personal take. As we've said before, guys, our personal take is just that. Yours may be completely different, but if you've related your take to our take in other videos that you've watched of ours, then you can pretty safely assume that if we think it, you'll probably think something along the lines of, yeah. Do you want to hit first?
Yeah, for what it is out of the bottle, is it an apple juice flavour? Yes. It tastes bang on like apples. It just does. All of them taste of apples, with the varying different types of sweetness in there depending on the nicotine strength. It's a 10 across the board. It just is. It's a very nice apple actually. It's not overly powerful. It's just the right amount of apple in there, I believe. Yeah, it's coming through nice.
For me, does it taste like apple? Yeah, Yeah, it does. Yeah, there's no two ways about that. As Worm said, different takes on it as you get up the nicotine range, but that's always the case with us anyway. We sort of tend to sit mid-range around 12 milligram strength nicotine, so that is what it is. But there you go.
For me personally, to be honest, I wasn't getting much throat of any of these, so I could actually vape any of these at any point. I think it would more be depending on what kind of sweetness I want. The 12 and the 6 are definitely my preferred, and I'm going to give them a 10. Both of them, they're both excellent juices. The 18 is more like a 9.5, just because it's just a little bit, well, not as sweet sort of thing. It's just a little bit more bitter towards that sort of end of the scale. And the 24, it's like a 9. It's still a really good juice, but if you're vaping 24s, you're going to love the 24 juice. It's not my preferred strength, and I can feel the nicotine on my tongue on that one, and I wouldn't use it all the time, but I'd quite happily have that one maybe when I'm drinking or something like that, because I need the extra nicotine hit sort of thing. But yeah, that's what I'm going to go with.
My preferred out of the 4 is the 12. I like the flavour better, and which is expected because that's a nicotine strength we're used to, so it doesn't play as much of a part. We're used to the part that it plays in the juice, I guess. The 6, sorry, the 12 is a 10 for me. The 6 is like a 9, I guess. My 2 preferred is I actually prefer the 24 and the 12. The 12 is the highest. The 18 would get a 9 for me, and the 24 would get a 10 as well. Again, they serve different purposes, guys, and obviously you know what your nicotine strength is. But yeah, there you go. If you're after an apple juice, this is actually a really, really nice one. So wicked stuff from E-Smokeless. Obviously, thank you for sending them down to us. We appreciate that very much. So, and that's about us done. We'll link E-Smokeless for you down at the bottom as well, guys. They're incredibly competitive on price. So there you go. Thank you very much for watching. I've been Mr. Proton. It's been the Worm. See you soon.